before we go into for the budget itself, you know, we have the mayor here. Mayor, did you want to say something, or here for? I should have called on you right before the meeting started. I didn't want you to sit through all of our business meetings. As courtesy to any elected official, I should have done that. I'm sorry.
Just kind of wanted to address the measures being watched. First of all, I'd like to say congratulations to my chief and the guys that passed this EMT training. I think that's a plus for the community, no matter where they're at, because I think that's that first responder, and it's critical. So I want to thank them, thank Joe for doing the training. Again, that's an asset to the community. The second thing I'd like to address is this fire department issue. Want to kind of clear some air on some things that some of you magistrates already know. I had talked with them. I talked to I think almost every magistrate except for Jerry. I didn't get with you, Jerry, and I apologize for that, and even Dean Watts. The corporation is a corporation. It's a LLC. So the actual negotiation was not between me and Dean or me and you as a county as a magistrates, because that's not the way that works. It is a corporation, and my negotiations was with the chairman of the board. That started out with Neil Powell. This ended up with Stacy over a big whatever they had. But so anyway, that continued on, and it's gone up to a conclusion at this point. If you have any questions, you know, that's where that's at. And if you felt like you were excluded, you were not. It's just that the negotiations was between me and the chairman of the board. So
the only question I've got, John, is you know, you pretty much said this or that, and they couldn't do this or that without fiscal court. I mean, that's why I said what I said.
Well, I don't know. Well, and I have told, going through negotiations, Keith, there's been a couple of different chairmen of the boards, and to be honest with you, I don't even know who I was negotiating with.
I'm not fully educated on it either. I'm trying to get myself educated on it every day. So.
Yeah.
And Mayor, to be honest with you, if you weren't on the initial ordinance that we drafted several years ago to allow those dues to go on the tax bills, the average citizen probably doesn't know the step-by-step procedure that it came to be that way. So I did not take any offense to it myself, I can assure you that. Yeah. And the other thing is
but reassure, when these started out with Neil Powell and even with Stacy, I even told volunteers, go to the masters. Throw your equipment on their table, said, come fight fires with us, we need money, whatever. Because here, my whole purpose behind this was to incorporate the two departments together as one. And this is all for the community. It's not for just me or the county or anything, but my whole purpose of this was community-oriented, community-based for the service, to provide best service for the community. And to provide that is to incorporate that as one and provide a 24, 48-hour fire department. That is my intentions. And to do that, you have almost to have equal pay coming from both sides. Where the corporation right now has been, the last 12 years have been about $480,000. These are just rough numbers, and right now the city is at, in the past 12 years has gone from the same to $1.1 million. So, and it's not about who gets the service, because everybody is eligible to receive the service. If you're stuck in a car in New Hope, who comes to get you out? The fire department's going to come get you. So it's not about who is actually going to get it. Everybody is eligible to get the service. It's about the service is what it is. So at that point, then I have not received anything about the study, anything like that. The corporation has had a year to get on board. The corporation has known that this was coming on because the last administration given notice of terminating this contract. It's been a year. And then when I was hired, hired by the people, elected or hired by the people in November, and I think it's around November the 12th and 15th, I give my layout. I told what I wanted to do. And then there was a dysfunction within the corporation, and hopefully they'll get that lined out. So at this point, it's waited to coming down to the wire, and I'm not, I don't do business that way. You had a year to prepare, you need to get it done. So to announce to you guys, I have given a letter to my chief of police that he is to resign as the Bardstown Fire Chief or resign as the Nelson County Fire Chief.
You mean, okay, you said police chief, but you meant.
Or, I'm sorry, the Fire Chief, yes.
I was getting ready to say-
I gotta say, what did Rick?
No,
we ain't getting rid of Rick.
You ain't getting Rick, you can get that.
You did say police.
I know, all right, well, I correct
That caught my
myself.
attention.
So I'm in fire. I'm thinking about police.
I
I'm still in police week, the Memorial Week for police, but
Yeah.
no. So I have issued a letter to my fire chief, Marlon Howard, to either resign from this Bardstown City Fire Department or resign from the corporation fire.
Can you still be a volunteer for the corporation side?
That right now is he
Not-
will
not
he will
cheap.
he will
I mean,
be an
that's almost
employee.
competing on his civil rights.
I don't know. I mean, anybody can volunteer.
That's what I'm
I
talking
don't
about.
have a problem with it, yeah, as long as it doesn't interfere with city functions. 'Cause
I understand.
he
I'm
may be your chief. I haven't got a response from him yet.
He's not, and corporations
Well,
are private,
corporation,
non.
not your chief, I'm sorry, the
Yeah.
And I'm
corporation.
trying to separate that, and it's hard to do because we've always been supportive of the corporation fire department in all areas of the county where we can. And so I'm trying to separate that, but I'm gonna go back to the funding disparity that you've discussed. There is absolutely no doubt that the fire protection in the city limits of Bardstown is that's really improved over the years by the volunteer side and the paid staff side. The funding by adding paid firefighters to your operations, I guess the short sight was that how are we going to fund a full-time 3-shift type of thing? Never did was thought through maybe down the road. This community has always been blessed to have a lot of volunteers that show up and do their job and do a great job. You know, I hate to see the firefighters get involved in the real political side of this issue, and that's the money side of the issue. Because these guys are firefighters to be a firefighter. Just like a policeman want to be a policeman. A policeman can make a lot more money doing a lot of other things many times.
I agree.
But they want to be policemen, and likewise with firefighters, they want to fight the fires, and they don't want the politics side of it to come out. But as I discussed with you and Councilman Hagan at our meeting a couple of weeks ago on this issue, there's somewhere along the line, there has to be some value given to the citizens of the county for paying the city's occupational tax. Somewhere along the line, there has to be some value for the $500 that I pay to the city for my occupation, $480, whatever I pay, right in that range. So there has to be some value given to all those taxes that are paid to the city. And, you know, we want to, even though we live outside the city, we want to be a part of the community. We're a community. And so there, I would think that anywhere from 60 to 75% of that city occupational tax is being paid for and being brought in from citizens that don't live in the corporate limits. They work in the corporate limits, don't get me wrong, but they live outside the corporate limits. So I would hope that the city council would give some value to that when you're saying that the disparity in the funding mechanism is that. Now, you can't, in my opinion, you cannot pick and choose where you place tax dollars, unless it's a gas tax that goes for the roads, unless it's a tax that's on an ambulance service. You can actually have an ambulance tax, unless it's a water district tax, a sewer tax. Then yeah, that money has to be specific. But when you start talking about general taxations, general fund tax and occupational tax funds, unless it's specific in the statute, when you initiate the ordinance that is going to be used for that, I think that citizens of the county deserve some credit for helping fund city services.
And
Not
vice versa.
utilities, not
And
utilities.
vice versa.
And vice versa,
Yeah.
exactly.
Because I mean, you know, more people come to the city,
just had to
out on
say
city streets than probably than they go out.
But we're not talking about
That.
streets.
We're just talking
We're
about.
talking about
general
services.
Yeah.
We're talking about the streets, our streets are primarily funded by gas taxes, yours are too.
We've added in.
We've all added some.
We've added in
Because
our
there's not
tax
enough to
rate
do,
for that.
yeah, we've all added some. So I would think there should be some value put in that when you look at this big picture.
Well,
And we gotta look at the big picture, I think.
I do.
And down the road, 24/7 fire department, I'm not sure that this community is big enough at this point for that.
Well, my thing is.
For payment.
If my time's wrong, but if during the day your run time is about, what, minute and a half?
Under 2 minutes.
Under 2 minutes,
And you're on the road.
and you're on the road. At nighttime, it's 15 to 18 maybe?
After 4 o'clock, it increases to 8 minutes, just a little bit more, you know, exact numbers.
Or
And
then
then
if it's later at night, it's
midnight to 4, 8 a.m., it's pushing up to 12 minutes.
12, all right, so let's say
Oh, I
12 to
understand.
15.
Oh, we understand that.
The
now,
only
yeah.
thing that I'm trying
And
to.
I understand that where I live,
Yeah.
if it's 20 minutes, I understand that because I live a little bit further out.
20 minutes? No,
I'm
you'll be
fine
there,
with
we'll
it.
be there quicker than that.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, the only thing that I'm trying to prevent, it's just like police services. The only thing I'm trying to prevent is another Guthrie Drive incident. That's what I'm trying to do. And you can what if it all you want, but if we could have got there earlier, or if we could get there at this time, can we save this much, can we do this much more? And it's emergency services.
I understand.
And that's where I'm at. So, if you want me to, I'm gonna throw it back in your lap, since it's on you. I'm gonna, how much are you willing to give to the corporation to keep this together and to make this 24/48 fire? And you don't know an answer today, but you.
If you wanted to fully fund a full-time fire department 24/7, you're looking at a budget.
But it's not 24/7, it's 24/48. That's the way they look at it. So,
7 days a week, have
Yeah.
fire protection, 24 hours a day. Just like your police department, just like your EMS station. You're looking at a budget anywhere from $2 million to $3.5 million to make that work. To make it work, right.
the question is, it's not.
And we're already at
not that-
$1.7 million or
How much
so
do you want to
between
put
the
on
two of
emergency
$1.5 million.
services? How much do you want to put on public safety? Is there a dollar amount?
If
Yeah, I don't
the
know.
citizens that live on Balltown Road could get 5-minute service, 3 to 5 minute service like you can here in the corporate city limits, there might be some fairness to that.
And lower our ISO rating.
Yeah. But those are discussions we can have.
It could, because some places in the
But-
county,
but
you're.
I'm not so sure that they can get the same quality service.
You're 24/48.
Because of the drive time, 10 to 15 minutes.
I think it'll lower the ISO rating. Maybe not as quite as much as out in the back, but it's gonna help. But anyway, that's the food for thought. That's all I got to
So
say.
you're not gonna give us any credit for our occupational tax money?
But you took that away from the city, I think, because y'all used to give the city some, Bloomfield some, New Haven.
For the ambulance service. Mayor Brown was mayor and he agreed to subsidize the ambulance service when we bought the ambulance service from the private company, and that's where that money went.
Anyway, so that's a whole new different thing, but we're gonna move forward with what the city has to do to provide the best care, and service for the citizens. And, you know, if you wanna look at that, you're more than welcome, but, hopefully Mr. Chief Howard will have a response to me today, correct?
Yes.
And.
It's pretty responsive.
And also, I want to assure, just as we're talking about 24/48 service, we're just talking about staffing to have people in the station. This in no way means that the volunteers are not going to be a huge part of these departments. I mean, this is just to get a primary response in the station. Now, I just want to clarify what the mayor's saying here. This is not saying that there will not be a volunteer department. There will still be a combination part of a department hugely supported by volunteers.
Volunteers are very, very important to this. And the volunteers, hopefully will, if you all decide to give or not give, but if not, they can volunteer for both sides.
Well, John, you
But I
say
can move
us,
forward.
it's not really us, it's the corporation, as Judge just said. You know, it's not us, it's fiscal court, they're LLC.
Well, I'm asking you if you're gonna give money to the
They
corporation.
have never.
We haven't never presented a plan to us at all, John.
I haven't either, I haven't gotten a counter offer, nothing, mediation. Mediation, there's nothing to mediate, it's just, it's.
Well, you're asking for an offer, so I consider that
Yeah,
mediation.
you know, you.
You're asking
you-
for an offer from the corporation.
What I'm trying to do is to include you, because, through the news media, it didn't seem like you all were being included, and I know you don't.
I didn't take offense to it. I just want you to
I
know.
didn't take offense either, I just said, I
I'm
just
trying
wish
to-
that we had sat down as leaders and kind of discussed the background history that it had to go through fiscal court. I wasn't aware of that until the judge told me that, because it happened before my
Way
time.
before your time.
Yeah, I had no
But I
idea.
didn't,
Years
I didn't want to
before that.
step out of that box to the point, that my negotiation had to be with the chairman of the board, and that's where it lies at. So, and I'm just here,
I appreciate the explanation.
I'm just here as mayor and here as a.
I like that, I wish you'd done
friend.
it 6 months ago, you know, and then we'd had time to prepare it. Probably more so than what
Well,
we got now. We
The
got
cor-
2 months.
The corporation should have been here a year ago,
Well, this thing's been batted around for the last
since
7
nineteen
years.
ninety-five.
Yeah, and it just keeps coming back. So it's time to put it to bed one way or the other.
I'll set up a meeting with the corporation and discuss some issues with them.
Mayor, quick question, I'm just curious, how do you feel that separating these two departments gets you closer to your 2448 protection for the city on? How does that help you reach that goal?
The goal is, it can be done. I'm almost for sure I got the support of the council. I got the support of my chief and the full-time firefighters. It's doable. But the thing about it is it's just not that. The other thing is it's the equal part of money. It's to do that, you gotta have the money, and we can't do this. We can, and we're gonna do it, one way or the other.
So you
We're
gonna put a
do it.
second shift on?
And third?
I'm working on that now. Yes. We're gonna do it, but I can't do it off the $120,000 that the corporation gives me a year.
So if you take that away, then you're gonna make that back up.
Well, the $120,000, I really don't get but $80,000 of that, because 20 of that goes to the chief's salary. So $80,000.
Well, I mean, you're getting it just in an indirect way to
Yeah.
help the chief salary.
But there's other things that's gonna happen down the road. I will get the extra.
Appreciate y'all coming in.
Yeah, but, and again, I wanna extend the offer, because, in the past administrations, we have, I think, being I've talked since Timmy Hutchins left, and we haven't gotten together and broke bread and ate chicken.
We've talked about doing that.
And we need to do that, because we can operate as one, closer.
Let me switch gears here since I've got you on the floor. I presented you and Councilman Hagan a proposal on the 911 dispatching in verbal context a couple of weeks ago. Have you been able to go any further with any of the council folks on that?
No, not right now. I'm gonna rectify this fire first. I wanna do one at a time, because as you guys know, we have the, fire department agreement, the interlocal agreement between the rec department and the interlocal agreement on the dispatch.
Yeah, but see, we technically don't have, the fire department is
I
a
know, but
corporation, so you
I
kinda,
know,
you know,
no,
but we
I'm-
do have an agreement, written agreement between the city and county
On,
on the dispatching.
yes, but
and
I wanna
recreation.
take care of the fire department first. Now, this is a
But
priority.
that doesn't really directly affect us until the corporation comes to us.
I'm taking those in order.
Okay, I got you covered.
So, as soon as I rectify that, which will be very soon,
Oh, yeah, it's 60 days or less.
90.
Well,
As far as the contract with the corporation is up at the end of June,
Yeah,
June 30th, and, but I'll have this rectified today. So, anyway, so that, and then we will, I'll put him on the spot, but
If you'll allow me, I mean, there's no use in dragging it out if that's the case, because I've informed the membership last night at the meeting you know, with that request, it's obvious that we've got a decision to be made. So that decision that the mayor has asked me, we have to look at how's the best way to do that. Obviously, I have to go one side or the other because there's two completely separate departments here, or there's going to be. So I will choose to stay with I've informed the membership, I will choose to stay with the city of Bardstown and hope absolutely to work with whom the corporation puts into play as a chief. It's absolutely critical that as we do this, they put someone in that we can work together to make this transition, and that it's not forced on the community, that's done in an organized manner. So if that helps clear things up, I will be presenting the mayor a letter today.
I presume that probably was gonna happen.
Well,
Retirement system and everything else, the benefit package, heavy.
I can assure you, and the mayor can assure you, that by our discussions as well, that is not what makes my decision.
I understand, but it's important, you gotta live.
Well,
I understand that.
I want to explain it, and to do that, just because I look at the two fire departments, and I'll use yours, is we're two big brothers, we've been living together. It doesn't, just because we're going our separate ways, doesn't mean we still don't love each other. We just going our separate ways, and we're gonna help each other still, it'll still be there.
Well, John,
There's gonna be some things that'll be different, but
Well, Mayor, don't you feel like that, like the judge said, the occupational tax that all of us pay, and the judge paid, is not helping you fund this 2448 you're talking about?
everybody pays the occupational tax, yeah.
Yeah, but I
We
mean,
pay it too.
I don't get to vote for any of you all, but you made it on to all of us. And I'm like the judge, our part of that should be helped funded, because you took the cap off that auction, or you didn't, but
I
the
did.
previous administration did, to gain an extra $850,000 to $1 million a year. I think it's up to $1 million a year. I heard Mike Abel say.
1.8 is the city's revenue projections for.
But
the
I'm talking about
occupational.
extra.
Extra is about 800, 900,000.
Yeah.
I heard Mike Abel say before he retired that the $75,000 y'all was losing on the gas tax was, the occupational tax was well over exceeding that. So when he said well over, I'm like the judge, I'm 800 to $1 million. And that's coming from residents. Some of them city, but a majority of them couldn't vote for any of you, and we're paying it. And what are we getting out of that service? My wife works out tired. She's paying that service. What extra did she get?
Water, sewer, when as it works.
I pay my water bill.
It all goes into the whole.
I know, but do you see, you saying you're acting like the county or the outside residents is not paying their fair share?
No,
Y'all put a tax on us, the city council, mayor and the city council put a tax on citizens that could not vote for any of you all.
I understand.
My wife is very upset.
I have business owners inside the city limits that gripe every day that says that we're spending taxpayers' money, but they don't have a right to vote. Well, let me do this. Do you want to give them that right to vote? Merge the governments to one government, urban county government, just one government.
We're two.
That would solve it. I mean, everybody has a right to
Yeah,
vote and
that wouldn't
save the
solve it.
taxes. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
we're muddying up the water. But that's,
Mayor, I mean, just to their point, I believe, whenever they raise the taxes, that's the reason they give it. It's because you use
Well, that-
police and fire protection in the city limits.
Yeah, but that's not, you
mean,
can't
that's-
just, you
that
can't
is
say
the
it's going
theme
to,
every time.
those taxes are going just to police and fire.
But-
It's like the school tax.
Now, past
You live-
administrations have said that, when you ask them, that's what they'll tell you. That's why we tax you, because you use our police and our fire in the city limits for 8 hours out of the day, you should pay.
Yeah, because we show up to a wreck, the police show up to a wreck, they're gonna say, are you a county resident? Well, oh, yeah, well, you're injured, so we have to call county unit. We don't do that. It's for all the services that the city renders.
I understand that, but what Jeff's saying is both of some of the revenue, and again, I contend that 60 to 70% of the city's occupational tax money is paid by non-city residents. The statistics will show you that. And there, so on that $1.8 million of projected revenue, about 1.2 million of that is being paid for by non-city residents. That's a lot of money, not to receive any additional services or have any any say-so. I understand the say-so part about voting and all, that's a different story. But to not get any services that you feel like that, then all of a sudden the fire department disparities, $30 difference or whatever it may be in people's minds, it becomes a big issue, then it's not, I don't think there's any fairness to how you're analyzed.
Well,
And we can disagree, and we'll work to the next thing together. I hope that happens. But we can disagree on that issue, and I will go to my grave with that on my mind.
well, and you all know, county and cities always have different numbers. You know, it depends on who's operating the pencil. And it's always been that way.
And I can tell you also, John, and we own property in town, nowhere on my tax bill do I ever see anything that says fire dues. And the numbers you give, 140, 150, depending on who you listen to, I can't see that as a true dollar amount because my property tax bill is $300. It can't possibly be half my tax bill to fund the fire department with as many other entities as there are within the city government. So are you billing the residents using the numbers saying that you've got a factory out here, it's worth $50 million, he's paying $150, and you got a house over here worth $50, paying $150, you know, so there has to be some parity down the line as to, you know, it can't just say that all residents pay X number of dollars when there's nowhere that we can see that dollar amount as taxpayers or as folks from outside the city.
I think Mike, before,
Mike always scared me because his numbers can be anywhere, depends on what side of the page.
well, and that goes for any accountant.
That's true.
That wants to do it. They can work those numbers. Dean can work numbers in who's ever in favor. Now, anybody can work the numbers. You know,
But
you know, doing bids, you can work the numbers.
The fairness of both sides, meet in the middle, the fairness is the
But
thing I look
whose
at.
side of the fairness are we on?
In fact, and these guys will tell you sometimes, I'm considered to be a city judge a lot of times, because I love the city of Bardstown probably more than anybody sitting in this room.
No, you don't.
Uh,
I do.
uh,
I'm working a whole lot cheaper than you are.
But I'm trying to make a point here that I do look at it, because I represent everybody that's in the corporate limits of the city of Bardstown, New Haven, Bloomfield, and Fairfield. And I do realize that, and anyway, let's have this discussion another day.
Sure.
Fiscal court, you've made your presentation to the court. We will take it under advisement. We will talk to the corporation and take it from there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
'Cause
you,
we can talk about this all day long.
Oh, yeah. Bring the bread and chicken and Coke, and we'll do it. Thank you, guys.
Dean? Just like to say, as the chairman of the corporation right now, you know, we did have some conversations with John Royalty, you know. We tried to, you know, see if we could take his proposal and see if we can, you know, do some other things with it. The truck replacement schedule that the corporation has come up with for as many pieces of apparatus that we have, you know, a lot of that wasn't able to be give on. I mean, he gave the ultimatum or proposal as accept or reject. That's what we did.
So you rejected it.
Correct.
Thank you. Thanks, Dave.
Okay. Next, go to the first reading of the budget. No, Jeff, you've got
A little
it.
bit lighter here, huh?